I recently added the Maxim Defense carbine combat stock to this LE6920 Colt M4, and I'm enjoying it so far. I like it. There's a lot to be said for the Magpul stock that I had on here before. There's a lot to be said for this one, and so I still do have the Magpul that I can put back on here in the case that I wanted to do that. But so far I'm having a lot of fun with this Maxim Defense. One thing that I do notice is with the Magpul, you can hear the buffer spring twang in there pretty good. With this Maxim Defense stock, it's lighter and thinner, and you can really hear the twang of that spring next to your head when you're shooting this rifle. So I was looking for a solution for all the noise, and what I found was a Geissele Super 42 braided buffer spring, and it's a different buffer as well. It's a H1 buffer, but it is a different size buffer. It won't fit with the regular buffer spring, so you have to buy the buffer and the buffer spring together. And so it's supposed to have a lot more effect. I don't believe I would have spent the $60 just to get rid of the noise, but it did say that it had some effect on the recoil and the operation of the rifle itself, the operation of the bolt itself, I should say. And so we're going to give that a try. You can hear very easily. There's a lot of vibration in that buffer spring, but if I can get rid of the buffer spring noise and have a smoother operation, noticeable difference in the recoil of the rifle and a smoother operation of the bolt, then to me that's a small price to pay. We'll see. We'll switch it over and see if we get a difference in the sound, and we'll shoot it and see if we have a difference in the operation of the rifle itself. All right, see you in a few. Here is the Geissele Super 42 buffer spring. Has the H1 buffer, and it is a braided buffer spring with 3 strands of wire. Now we've installed the Geissele Super 42, and all the sound of the spring is gone. Now we're going to shoot it. Now we're going to shoot it and see if it has any effect on the operation of the rifle itself, the feel of the rifle while it's being fired. Yesterday I did the video work on the Geissele Super 42 buffer and buffer spring. I realized when I got home that I didn't hit record on some of the shooting session, so I'm going to redo that a little bit today and try to get some good work in, and we'll talk to you later. But I really was impressed here shooting it, And you know, when they made the videos, they used language like it will quieten the buffer spring. But when they started talking about the operation of the rifle, they used language like, people tell us that it has improved recoil. And when I hear language like that, I'm aware that they're not trying to guarantee that that's what you're going to get. So I was skeptical, and I think it's right for me to be skeptical, and I think it's right for them to use language like that. I understand if you're running a business, you got to be careful what you guarantee. But at the same time, I brought this thing here and shot it. It definitely took the noise of the spring away, but it did what they implied that it would do. It was an improved operation of the bolt. It was a smoother recoil. If you'll go back in some of the older videos on target transition, we have shooting 25, 50, and 100 yards, and I'm always having to fire and follow through and rest back on the other target, fire and follow through and rest back on the other target. And that rise of the muzzle and settling back in on the other target, I had that down pretty good, and you can see in the videos, pop, pop, pop. It's going off pretty good and hitting pretty good on the steel. But in this case, that rise and settling back on the other target is not as pronounced. It's more of a trajectory than a rainbow. And so I really appreciate the product. I'm not really trying to sell them for guys or anything like that. Definitely not a paid promotion, but I absolutely would agree that it has a smoother operation of the rifle. It has a less pronounced recoil, and it definitely is a good product if you're looking for a product like this. But it definitely did change the shooting experience of the rifle. Shoots like a new rifle now. The Maximum Defense made it a better rifle, and the Super 42 buffer spring definitely made it a better rifle. I've got the Geissele trigger. That made the rifle better. So there's a lot of improvements here that definitely can make your rifle better if that's what you're looking for. Now, if you don't know that your rifle's lacking in performance and you don't shoot it that much, then definitely don't go out and spend the money just to be spending it. If you shoot your rifle twice a year, you probably don't need any extras. Just have fun and all this stuff. But if you're in the market, that's the person that I guess I'm making the video for. It is worth the investment, and it does do what they say it will do, guaranteed, and the things that they imply that it will do, it does. So for $60 plus, I don't think you can beat it. It's a good product. It does what it says it'll do, and so that's all I got. We'll talk to you next time.